With the price of aluminum, of course, now 40% of what it was just 5 years ago.
Fewer American manufacturers are producing it due to global competition many describe as being at an unfair advantage. The ripple effect, the U.S. is importing more aluminum than ever, causing hundreds of people in the tri-state to lose their jobs.
Working conditions, inches from 2,500 degrees. But the real heat, they'll say, economics.
It's quickly becoming too late for American aluminum.
Century Aluminum's Hawesville smelter is one of 5 remaining in the U.S. 20 years ago, there were 25. Competitor Alcoa shut down its Warwick facility in March. Operations at this plant, 40% of what it was last year.
There's a glut of metal in the world market now, especially from China, and it's subsidized metal that a foreign government helps shore up their industry, and it makes it non-competitive for virtually any other industry to compete. You can't compete with a government.
In 2011, the London Metal Exchange listed aluminum at $2,500 a ton. China's cheap labor driving down the price now to $1,500 and exporting to the U.S., where aluminum is more expensive to produce. Calls growing louder for the federal government to intervene.
Whether it's commerce regulation, a tariff, upholding the law, upholding the standards to where it makes it viable for any company to succeed in this world market. This smelter makes the purest aluminum in the world, period. And it's very important for this country in the essence of national defense, and we're very proud of it.
Century Aluminum extracts its alumina from a mine in St. Anne, Jamaica. It's refined in Gramercy, Louisiana, then shipped to Hawesville, where it's smelted into sows.
Each sow weighs 1,500 pounds and is used in anything from the auto industry to aerospace, even power lines.
It's a critical time in the aluminum industry for us to garner some support and stop this influx of metal coming in and harming our economy and taking these good industrial, what America is known for, jobs away from us.
Up until 2015, 650 people worked at the Hawesville smelter. Only 250 remain, such as Potline supervisor Dustin Stevens, whose dad and brother lost their jobs last year.
We don't have something happen right now with the LME. All our jobs are still in jeopardy. Century Aluminum, we've been handling their scrap for years. Over the last 15 years, they were probably our top scrap producer. And now, you know, they're probably not even, they're not in the top 5. I'd have to really look to see if they're even in our top 10.
The downturn in aluminum far-reaching in the tri-state. Evansville's Henry Fliegeltop reports the recycling business is down as much as 60%.
Manufacturing slowed, manufacturing's leaving the country. Businesses are doing things differently, they're using less scrap. It's just been difficult.
Most of the aluminum you see here comes from area manufacturers and then sent to the Wapaka foundry in Tell City. Just like Century Aluminum, the family business being burned by China, once a huge importer of American aluminum, especially in its preparation for the 2008 Beijing Olympics.
Got steel mills running, they're making finished goods, they're making products as well that they're putting out all over the world.
Very few scrappers selling the commodity, the gas money often not worth it.
There might be $5 or $10 worth of aluminum on there now, where there was, 20 a while back.
Every aspect of the recycling business is down. A lot of industries interconnected, even coal. For instance, this pile of material here used to be in a mine.
That's basically another driver that took this market down, was the fact that oil prices dropped. Well, they're not going to make as much. They don't need steel. The mining operations are drying up everywhere, so they don't need equipment. They don't need product. We're all kind of intertwined with the commodities.
Smelting aluminum takes a lot of power. Plant manager Jared Brooks says Hawesville alone uses as much electricity as the entire city of New Orleans. But local coal getting harder to come by, putting U.S. aluminum manufacturers at an even greater disadvantage, as insiders say China also subsidizes electricity.
The U.S. International Trade Commission recently announced it's opening an investigation into the global aluminum trade and its impact on the U.S. aluminum industry, specifically foreign government policies that drive overproduction, such as China. It's expected to deliver its report to the House Ways and Means Committee in June 2017.